but I feel I just got caught up with the wrong things at different times. But at the same time, I'm grateful that I got caught up with the wrong things. With my dad, bro, I carried him to bed, bro, the day before he died, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, this is the new generation. I was like, we have to make a difference, bro. And I just showed him that it's not always just about the money. The money always gonna come. Money's easy to make. I didn't give a damn, bro. Because I understand what it is to be at the bottom, bro. Because I just feel like, why did this happen to me, bro?
Love it. So, past, present, future, incredibly special guest, as always. So we've got SK in the building. I want to transition throughout the past, present, future journey, as I always do. But it'd be great to give you a brief opportunity to introduce yourself for potentially someone that doesn't know who you are, what you do.
Who I am, what I do. My name is SK. I'm 30 years old. What I do is everything within the music industry, basically. That's hard to break down, but predominantly I'm an artist, I'm a talent manager. I have my own record label. I help a lot of people within the music industry. I do artist development, A&Ring, marketing, tour manager. Just everything within the music industry, really, to be honest. Yeah, that's just me in a nutshell.
Love it, and we can get into it. So there's a reason that I'm going to ask this first question in a certain way, and it will reveal itself later on within the industry, but within the interview, sorry. So I wanted to just ask you, when I say past, what is the immediate thoughts that spring into your mind?
Past is just the old me. The old me. The past is in like me personally, or just in like within business, or just
within general, what pops into your mind?
The old me. Like, just the old me. And to be honest, yeah, sometimes I would just sit down and think about my past, or I'll come across certain things that kind of trigger me about my past, whether it's in a good way or in a bad way, innit? And it's just, I just think the old me.
What triggers you in a bad way about your past?
Like, it depends what I come across, innit? Like, I feel like it's mad because, like, for example, like, if I have an achievement, I get two triggers. Like, one is, oh, rah, I've made it here, like, look where I was before. But one is also, like, who's not with me celebrating, you know what I'm saying? Like, both things are in the past, you know what I mean, to me. So it's like, it's mixed emotions. That's how, with everything I do, or any little climax I hit, that's what hits me straight away from the past. There's always two breakdowns. There's always like a positive. But it's not positive and negative. It's kind of like uplift and a downlift, I would say. Not positive and negative. Probably the wrong choice of words, but yeah.
How do you deal with the downlift, as you brand it?
It all depends, like what I'm going through there. I feel like I didn't really know how to deal with the down stuff. But mainly, really, I just overwork myself, really. I just put in more work, or I self-motivate myself, and I pray as well. I'm Christian, innit? So that's how I kind of deal with the down stuff, mainly. And obviously I got my mum, my brother, and my sister. But that's how I deal with anything that's kind of negative, really. And I always try and think, you know, there's like an African saying there, like, oh, you know what, no matter how bad things can go, at least you have your health, innit? So sometimes, you psych yourself up like that, do you know what I mean? And you think about the positives. And then I also remember times where I've been in worse positions and I used to think it was the end of the world, and I think about it now. Do you know what I mean? I saw something that I'm actually going to try, actually. I saw it on Twitter, someone, which I'm actually going to try, writing letters to yourself. So you write a letter about maybe a situation that you're going through now, how you feel now, and it sends you the letter like 6 months or a year later, so you can actually physically see it's actually documented. Do you know what I mean? Rather than it having it in the memory. That will give man self-motivation as well. But that's kind of, I deal with it in many ways.
Yeah, it's really interesting. We can get into that. And one thing that I wanted to ask you about, tracking back right to the very beginning. So I know you grew up predominantly in Croydon, South London, and a lot of the work that you do today is community-based. And that kind of begged the question in my mind of, like, how much do you feel you missed out on in guidance in your area growing up, and how much is that to do with the motivation that you put into giving the guidance today?
100%. That's where the motivation comes from. When I was going up at Croydon, we didn't have role models. Like, we didn't have role models, like, do you know what I mean, to tell me to do this or do that or be on the right path. You had to kind of learn it yourself, or you had to get yourself into situations to learn and figure out yourself. So it's like, when I look at the youths from my area, from every side of Croydon, I always want to help. Whether they like me or not, do you know what I mean? It's embedded in me, like, do you know what I mean? Even when I went to uni, the whole point when I wanted to get into the music, the first thing I said is to give back. Like, I want to give back to my area in a positive way. I want to come back as like a person that's actually helped the community. Do you know what I mean? Both the young people and obviously the older generation as well. Do you know what I mean? Just actual community space. So for me, that's the main thing, because I've been doing it on my own before music and that, because it's what I do. People call me all the time for this and that, do you know what I mean? And it's embedded in me. It was embedded in my family as well, just to help. But for Croydon, it's so key for me, man, because like, they really need help there. And a lot of my friends are still there in the hood, do you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, the cliche saying like, why don't you just leave the hood? And but it's not that easy just to leave them there to rot, do you get what I'm saying? I gotta help who I can. And those that want to be helped anyway, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then some of them don't know better, man. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I don't discriminate. I'll rather analyze the situation and then kind of, you know, take it for what it is and understand it, rather than just discriminate, like just saying, oh, this is that, or this person's this, or this situation's that. Because when I thought back to my age, who was I listening? I didn't even listen to my parents. You know what I'm saying? I was hard-headed. It's only now I'm realizing. Do you get what I mean? I don't want the younger generation to go through that. I'm gonna have children soon. I got a little brother. Do you know what I'm saying? So I want to set that example in my area. I want to be that person more than just an older person. I want to actually be an older person with substance, like actually gives back. Yeah. So yeah.
It's really interesting. You say you wouldn't listen to your parents, and you also said that there was no role models within your area growing up. So it kind of made me wonder, what situations did that breed within your life?
Well, do you know what I mean? Like, you know, like rolling in the streets, doing some street nonsense, like, doesn't mean nothing now, do you know what I mean? Just hanging around. I feel like with my journey is that I was always good at business, but I feel I just got caught up with the wrong things at different times. But at the same time, I'm grateful that I got caught up with the wrong things, because then I wouldn't have learned. It's a catch-22. It's a weird one to kind of explain, because it's like, I wouldn't be who I am today without the streets. But then again, I would be further than I am without the streets. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, with some of the things I've come across. And I'm fortunate in my life, like certain things that I haven't encountered than some of my other friends, do you know what I mean? But yeah, like having no role model, you kind of just, we had to figure out ourselves. Like, down to just the basic things, like, and there's nothing they can teach. It's not things that you learn in school, like money management, doing this, credit, just other little things. Like if man had a big brother or had a big older, like, yo, young, like, do that. You're doing this. I get it. You got beef or you got all this stuff. That's gonna pass away. So you gotta put yourself in this position so you can actually look after family. Not going through all the beef, going through the madnesses and realizing for yourself. Sometimes by then it's too late. Do you get what I'm saying? So, yeah, literally.
How accurate would you say it would be to say that you're impatient?
Impatient? Nah, I think I'm patient. But there is some impatience within me, I would say, because, I don't know, how do I put it? For example, let's say, we're doing an interview, right? Now, and let's say I'm really passionate about this interview, which I am actually, not saying this, but I am passionate about this interview. But, and I wanted to get out, I wanted to give my story. But you were just on a long thing. And I don't know, for some whatever reason, it will just psych me up so much, I just create my own thing. That's a good thing and a bad thing, because it comes out it comes out a bad thing because then I take on so much work and stuff like that, but then it's a good thing because then it's like, rather than just complaining, just go and create it myself and just do it. Like, that's just me, do you know what I mean? If I can't do it then, I'll get it done eventually, innit? So I think that's where my impatience comes. But in terms of like, I feel now, before I was impatient when I was younger, but I feel like I'm way more patient now because I'm still waiting for many things now, do you know what I mean? And, I've had to understand that. I don't know if that answers your question, but...
No, it does answer my question. The reason I asked though is because obviously I have been doing my research and I saw you were selling sweets at school and you said you were entrepreneurial and all these things. And to me that shows a bit of impatience in the terms of that you don't want to wait until you're older to do these things. You don't want to wait until you do these things. You want to do it now. And that comes across to today. So that's why I wanted to tap into it.
Yeah, definitely. Like, nah, you're 100% right. You've been doing your research. But I feel that's mainly, I was always money oriented regardless, like always getting my head into money, good and bad. Do you get what I'm saying? So, and mainly, my main thing is like my family. That's what it all drives, because me, apart from the chain and a couple other things, I don't really spend money on myself like that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I put it all to my family, my little brother, my mum, my sister, do you get what I'm saying? Or my cousins or whatever, or my bedrooms, like my close friends. So that mode, I always think, wow, I'm carrying a lot of people's weight on man's shoulder. Man has to deliver, innit? Do you get what I'm saying? So, yeah.
To summarise briefly, how important would you say your family are to you?
My family, they're everything, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm nothing without my family. Everything I do is for my family. Coming here right now is for my family, bro. Like, I don't do anything in my life without thinking about my family first. Before I make any decision, right or wrong, I think, how is this gonna affect my family? Or how is this gonna benefit my family? Do you get what I'm saying? That's why I live and breathe family over everything. Do you get what I'm saying? Especially like, as when I was younger, I wasn't really a good kid. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I owe my family this as well. Do you know what I'm saying? I owe them. And as the oldest, I'm the oldest in my house, like I'm Nigerian, it's a bit different, where you have to carry the weight on your shoulders. Like my dad passing away at 18. I have to literally carry that weight of both back in Nigeria, here. It's like, you ain't got a choice anyway, do you know what I mean? But I don't really mind, because it's like, it's something that I want to do, do you know what I mean? It's literally, fam.
With your love for your family in mind that you just expressed, how much harder did that make the situation of your dad passing away at such a tender age as well?
Like, it's mad, bro, because like, with my dad, bro, I carried him to bed, bro, the day before he died, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? Which is, it's nuts. Like, I can talk about it now just about it. It's just like, I think about it every day, bro. Like I say it, like, not even on some sub stuff, like, but I think about it every single day without fail. Sometimes I have moments I'll just get into some sort of like mood, and because I just feel like, why did this happen to me, bro? Even up to this day, bro, I can't really, I don't get it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I'll just go miserable, bro. Like, no matter how good my life is, I'll just throw everything I'm doing now, bro, just bring my dad back, bro, just to even hear him, fam, just to, you know what I'm saying? When man needs advice and it's hard because it's like, you're the oldest, so you can't really show emotion, bro. You have to soldier that, do you get what I'm saying? Like,
how detrimental do you think that is, like, not showing any emotion?
I don't really know. Like, sometimes, like, my business partners, like TK and JB one time, they had an intervention with me one time because they just said I was kind of losing it. Like, with just how man's working and stuff like that. Do you get what I mean? And they know the reason. I've known them since I was a kid. They know the reason why man is the way I am, innit? Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's detrimental in the sense of like, sometimes I don't really look after myself. This is like, after doing a little bit of therapy and stuff like that, I realized I don't really care, like, it's mad. I can't really explain it, like, yeah, I just don't really care about myself too much. But I'll care more about my family than myself. It's hard to explain, like, it's just certain things that I'll do, like, I'll be, that might benefit me, like, in a happy way, and I'll be like, no, fuck this, man. It's dead, like, it's not even gonna benefit man's family, bro. Like, what's the point of me doing that?
What was the turning point?
Pardon?
What was the turning point when you came out of that mindset?
To be honest, like, I still have drips of that mindset now, man. Like, I'll be real, do you know what I mean? Like, I still have drips of that mindset now. Maybe because I always feel that I'm not where I want to be. like people look at me and look like, but this is not where I still want to go to the heights. I feel like it's hard to get out of that mindset because it's like, I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know. I couldn't even answer the question, fam. I'm just in and out. I feel like it's just, I maintain it to an extent. Then you have a little breakdown and you have to be like, nah, you know what? This is not how like my dad would have wanted it. You know what I mean?
One thing that I'm actually really interested about that I hadn't thought of until now, when I was watching the interview and you were speaking about management and you were saying a good manager isn't just someone who sets up this deal, who deals with that. It's a good manager to be caring about your artists and their mental well-being and stuff like that. So how do you navigate accomplishing that when you're saying sometimes you don't even care about yourself and then you're trying to preach to an artist?
It's mad, isn't it? Yeah, because I remove my whole personal life from the artist. I can do that. Like I can be like a blank wall, which is mad. I can't explain it. So like my artists, even if I'm dying, bro, I'll still put my 100%. Why? Because their career's on my shoulders. And on top of that, their career's based, like, it affects my family as well. So I have to do it. There's no, tomorrow, I got to do it now.
Do you ever feel like a hypocrite though, saying to an artist that you need to care about your mental well-being and then you're going home and you're saying, I don't even care about myself?
100%. Like, it is hypocritical. It is, but like, a lot of my artists, remember, I've worked with them from the ground up. So I've seen them at when they've had nothing. So that bond of like, nah, bro, don't throw that away. I treat them like they're from my hood. Like, they're like my little brothers, my little homies in the hood. Like, I wouldn't want them to throw away a good opportunity. Why would I let an artist work just because I'm making money from them? It's not. It's more than business. If it was just business, those are like from bigger artists. Like if Ed Sheeran was to come today, I love Ed Sheeran, but I don't have a personal relationship with him. It would just be transactional. Okay, we've done a track together or whatever the situation may be. Whereas like a Russ Millions, grown with him since he was 16, 17 years old. Do you get what I'm saying? Or AM and Skendo, growing them since they were 18, 19 years old. It's completely different. Do you know what I mean? So it is hypocritical. And sometimes the artists here, they do these things, like, oh, skills, they call my granddad, isn't it? Granddad skills, like skills, you just live a little, but this is what I signed up for. Do you get what I'm saying? At the end of the day, as a big brother, as a big homies, I feel it's my responsibility to make sure that they're on the right. I want them to be focused. I don't really want them worrying about me. That's for me to worry about. Do you get what I'm saying? But yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I was just thinking about that specific snippet and just thinking it is against everything that you've just told me about yourself is the things that you care about in other people, which is, it's interesting.
It's mad, isn't it?
It is very, it is. I wanted to kind of tie the past section up, and often I think a quality that is consistent in successful people, which I would deem you, is being able to turn terrible trauma into a valuable lesson that affects their present moment. So I wanted to ask you, what do you think was maybe the toughest thing at the time, but the biggest lesson you learned from your past that affects your present?
Say that again?
The biggest lesson you learned from your past that will affect you in the present moment that you will think about and utilise as a tool?
Something that affected me in the past that affects me now.
Something you learned in your past. Your biggest lesson from your past.
The biggest lesson. How I treated people. I would say, I feel I was a little shit, man. Like, sorry for my language. I just feel like I learned a lot. And I feel that comes through the whole street, the whole negative environment and that. It's just negative, man. Just paranoid. You're just thinking that you got beef with everyone and just weird things. Like, I feel like, but I learned a lot from that, which I utilize today. And that's how I can relate to a lot of artists. And that's why I can understand them rather than discriminating them. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, people will look at, like, let's take drills, for example. Like, I've been working with drill music before you can even sign it, bro. I was going on TV platforms, I was going on news platforms, TK, because we actually care about that thing. Like, my bedroom died, innit, Tugsy, yeah? And when he died when we weren't as big, do you know what I mean? So we didn't have a lot of facilities. And if Tugsy was alive right now, I'd be managing right now. And I think about that every day, like, raw, maybe, why, even though it wasn't my fault, I still feel responsible for his death because I feel like I could have put him maybe closer to me or put him in a better situation, do you get what I'm saying? And I will always feel that responsibility. That will always hinder me, whether, even though like I had nothing to do with whatever happened or whatnot, but I still feel responsible because I know what I'm doing now. And plus, maybe if I called him that day or if I just, you know, put an extra bit of money and just held him back by man will still be alive. Do you get what I'm saying? So, like, learning a lot of things from the shit that it's helped man now, innit? Like, a lot of the artists, I understand them, innit? I understand why you got beef. You shouldn't be doing it, but I understand it. I'm not gonna tell you, put your knife down. It's not how you get someone to put their knife down by just saying, put your knife down, bro. Because when we were younger, you're telling us to put whatever we have down. Who the fuck, like, who are you? Tell me that. I hear why you're doing that. Give them some relatable stories of do you know what I mean? They're like, oh, swear it down. I was like, so you are raw, so you used to be a bit like me. Look what you're doing now. Do you get what I'm saying? That's the way, do you know what I mean? And that's what I've learned, do you know what I mean? Like, and see me, I'm a different character because like, I'm from Croydon. They used to have beef with like youths within the area and whatever. Even the youths that I used to have beef with and stuff like that, I approach everyone normally because it's what I represent. And people, I remember when we first started this company, so I might be going off, but Finesse Foreva, everyone thought it was Croydon gang or whatever this or whatever you want to call it, because, you know, we're involved and whoever manages involved. And the first thing is, it's like, and I knew that was going to happen straight away, getting into music. Skills isn't doing, like, from Croydon to managed to, we went to Fulton Heath. People were laughing at me, like, in a shirt. We were like, Skills, you're not a guy in Fulton Heath. They're going to chef you up. They're going to chef you up in Fulton Heath. I'm like, nah, this is the new generation. I was like, we have to make a difference, bro. Man, I had to show them that I don't give a damn who's beefing who. I'm here as big brother to help you elevate, bro. And I approach, bro, if I see a little youth and I see the belly of that, I say, yo, bro, what do you do in your life? What are you doing? See, and it might nothing to do with music, and that's the way I carry myself. That's why, because people say, wow, how do you work with this person? They got beef with this person, because I don't talk about beef. I don't care about that. I don't care about no. That's not gonna help you, bro. I will understand it and respect your stuff. You got beef with my man. I'm not gonna be there trying to make you not. Nah, I don't know what pastor you got going on, but what I will do, help benefit something that can benefit your life to look after your family. Because at the end of the day, everybody from the street wants to look after their family, bro. Everyone from them deprived areas, street or not, wants to look after their family. There's not one person that has some sort of family they want to look after. Do you get what I'm saying? So that alone, we'll always have that bond together. Whether you stab 9 people and I've stabbed 0, whether you've shot 5 people and I've robbed 3, it doesn't matter, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? That one connection will make you, you understand and you will respect it. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's what I do, bro. Do you get what I mean? And I feel like me having my past, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's the lessons that I've learned. Comes at a cost as well at the same time, because people might think you're booky and shit, and, you know, until they're like, okay, cool, you know what? This is actually calm. And that's the answer, really.
Yeah, it's a really good answer, and it goes back to my earlier point of turning potentially your biggest traumas into actually your biggest weapons today, and then that's what you're doing, which is incredible. I did want to talk to you about Finesse Foreva, or Finesse Future, I think.
Finesse Foreva,
as ZZ Mills puts it. But yeah, I wanted to go into that and to go back to the origins, because I know that you founded a different company to start with, didn't you? And then you went into Finesse Foreva.
Oh, yeah.
So what was the origins? And I guess when you founded, what were you trying to achieve with this company?
So I actually did Finesse Entertainment with one of my previous, well, he's still my friend now, one of my previous business partners. And that was because, I don't even know why, in uni or when uni times or whatever, I remember there's some from the ends that used to say finesse boys. I don't know, we used to call something to do with finesse in it. So I was like, all right, let me just run with this and create Finesse Entertainment. Had a bit of money and that. I didn't know about the business about music, but I used to rap in it, so I knew there's something there. And obviously Stormzy, Hardy, Caprio, and everyone in different areas were blowing up. then I just reached out to TK, innit? Like, because he used to record me, and he had Finesse Foreva, him and JB. And then that day they invited me out to hip hop karaoke, everything just clicked. And we just ran with it. And obviously going back to Finesse Entertainment, telling them, we created a big empire, they didn't really see eye to eye. And we had to kind of separate ways and then create Finesse Foreva, do you know what I mean? And that was the beginning of a beautiful journey from there, do you know what I mean? Because they got the same work ethic as me and whatnot, so it was amazing.
And where's that beautiful journey taking you in the present?
Like right now, we're still together right now. Do you know what I mean? Currently, we're even rebranding right now. Do you know what I mean? We've got some big things, exciting things. And it's helped us understand business. I think when you do business with your friends, sometimes they always say it's bad and wrong, innit? But with them lot, I feel like it's been a journey where we've been able to understand each other and understand business. Mm-hmm. Do you get what I mean? And there's a lot of things that I've learned that I would have learned if I was doing it with other people. Mm-hmm. Like, might still have the same success, but it's not always just about the money. The money always gonna come. Money's easy to make. Like, it's profit, innit? You just put in work. But what you learn along the way is different skill sets. How you present yourself, and so on and so forth. There's other little areas that I've learned. Do you get me? And about myself personally, do you know what I mean? That I wouldn't have got if I was working with somebody else, I believe.
What have you learned about yourself?
I've just learned, just about how the way I should be doing things, the way to interact with people. I feel like this is a bit better, and just the way to work, and just how to develop my skills as well. Do you know what I mean? When you're on this kind of journeys and that, when you're doing the same thing, you're not really growing. Do you get what I mean? And how to overcome L's. Do you get what I'm saying? That's a big one. Like, I had the biggest L's in Finesse Foreva, do you know what I mean? Which man's been able to overcome. Whereas if I was by myself, I would be panicking and probably going back to doing something I shouldn't be doing. Do you know
what was the worst situation you come into?
Financial, for example. Like, at the beginning, like, we didn't have no office. I remember we had Skinner and AM. They were massive, but we were broke. Like, being broke at 25, you're thinking, boy, this is mental.
What kept you going?
Each other, and just we had the vision. Like, we said that we're gonna do this, that it's gonna work. You know, and because we're all humble and we all have the same goal, almost identical goals, it's like, we don't mind sharing a piece of chicken, bro. We'll eat Morley's, bro. Doing office was my mum's yard. This is when I used to live in Norwood and that. Like, this is, like, do you know what I'm saying? So it was, yeah, literally, it was that kept us going, man. And obviously my family, but it was hard. It's just like, rah, when is this gonna blow? Like, when are we gonna have our proper moment? Our artists were doing so well though, you know? Like, all the shows, but all our money, we were reinvesting it. And I feel that discipline has helped me have, going back to what you said earlier about patience, them kind of things there, like, oh, you know what? Your time comes, bro. Because I love money, like, bro, but money always comes. Like, you don't die of money. You have to understand that it's just a tool. It's hard to say, do you get what I mean? Especially when you got bills and that to pay. You have to just keep going. Because imagine when you're broke, you're still taking meetings. But some of those meetings that we took when we were broke, pay me now. Imagine if I wasn't motivated, I just sat in my yard, I wouldn't have it. Or going back to what I'm doing, yeah, I would have probably got the money, but I would have been growing. So it works in both ways, literally.
Yeah, it's a really good answer, and I think it taps into my next point. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about ambition, and we spoke earlier about it being a gift and a curse. Obviously, ambition often breeds success if you work hard, but also ambition, when you achieve something which is great, you're constantly looking for the next thing. You don't really celebrate that win necessarily. So I wanted to put a situation on the table and ask you, body goes number one. How do you feel?
Normal. Normal, bro. Like, the man, I was more happy that Russ, the thing that touched my body that made me think is that we've been fighting for a drill from the beginning, something that was demonized, and then it goes number one. It just shuts everyone up. Like, before you lot said that this was some sort of thing that can't help people come out of a certain area and whatever, keep quiet. All right, cool. Russ, another one, young boy from Lewisham, been able to make something, become a multi-millionaire, helping prioritize his family. Excellent. Helped him, whatever. Cool. motivates other people that might be doing drill music and that want to come out of that life and make a transition. Right, these men can do it, Russ can do it. I remember what he was doing 5 years ago. Cool. Myself, I'll look at it and I wasn't really getting it. I wasn't really getting it. Like, I mean, like, number one. Even till now, I don't feel it like the way everyone else feels. And I feel maybe because it's like, you know when, like you might put on a shirt, yeah, and you think you look good, and then the girl looks at you and says, nah, you look good, and you're thinking, nah, brother, this is a normal shirt. Like, do you get what I'm saying? That's how it is, do you know what I mean? Like, and everyone that comes up to me that feels that, all that, I don't do all that celebrity crap. I don't care about that. I'm normal like you. I don't want people to feel like, because some people don't have a conversation, they feel like, oh, it's like a privilege. No, nigga, it's not, I mean, sorry, no, brother, it's not a privilege. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, where, like, you gotta get to where I'm going. Oh, let me see how I can help you, you can help me. Let's have a conversation, take my number. Like, do you get what I mean? I don't ever feel that thing. What I did do that was different, though, I decided to go out. I decided to actually experience it outside for the first time ever. And when I went outside, I remember I went to someone's birthday and the song was playing and everyone started filming me. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, I've embraced it. And it's like, bro, this is... And then people come up to say skills like, you lot don't know what you lot done and that, you lot don't know. And then it will hit me, but then I'll go home and I'll have to make sure I'm humble and say, you know what, I need to work harder, bro. That thing's not gonna last forever. That was done like the last year or whatnot. I need to go to the next one, And then it is messed up because it does mess you up, like you keep going for the next one. And where it's kind of messed me up, it's probably messed me up in terms of like my personal life, I would say. Like my personal life hasn't been as enjoyable with women as well. Like I ain't had no girlfriend for a long time, do you get what I'm saying?
And why do you think that is?
Because like I don't think I would have been able to sustain a relationship the way my life is just up and down in terms of like what I do and stuff, do you get what I mean? And I will just sacrifice everything. Like, I can be on a date, but my phone will be on because my artist might call. You're not gonna understand that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, or maybe I just didn't meet someone that, do you get me, that would understand that, but I know that has affected me. Do you get me? I had to make that sacrifice to get to where I am now. Do you know what I mean? That's just a choice that I made.
How much do you plan for the future?
All the time, like, even as we're speaking, bro. Like, I plan as much as I can. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like with plans where you write them down, your plan's always gonna change. There's always gonna be roadblocks or things that make it easy on the way, but I always plan like 5 years in advance. Always, like, with my personal life and my different businesses and stuff. Do you get what I mean? Because I feel doing that, then you're working towards something. I feel like when it's all in your head, you feel it's impossible. When it's written down, it's achievable. Do you get what I mean? And when I started to write things down, I started to feel, oh wait, this is not that hard. I can do this and do that. Before you know it, a year goes by, you've accomplished this. I'm 30 now, which is insane. I remember when I was 25 or 24, when I was 25 actually, when Tugsy died. And then I was like, when I'm 30, I'm not doing the things that I said I was gonna be doing. I'm even accomplished even more. Some things I've accomplished more. Some things I haven't accomplished as much. So it's like, raw. I remember saying that when I was 30. I'm 30 now, though. Do you know what I mean? So,
how do you navigate that then? Because I guess that planning for the future, I'm an advocate for it. I think it's a great thing. But at the same time, I think, like when you say, so I was 25 and I said I'd have this when I was 30, you get to 30 and you don't have it. How do you feel in that moment that you've let yourself down, maybe?
Yeah. But then I always think there's people way worse off as well. Like, do you get me? You be grateful for what you have. And then just replan and make adjustments, man. Like, I always say there's something, that a lot of people don't realize it. Let's say everyone's ambition in life was to make 100 grand. Some people are gonna make it overnight. Someone might just hit the lottery or a jackpot or gambling or whatever. Some people will take them 6 years. Some people take them 3 months. But the main thing is everyone reaches the 100 grand. It's all about your drive and your consistency and if you really want to reach it. Everything is achievable, in my opinion. It's just not everything is achievable within a certain time frame. That's the way I look at it. So if I haven't achieved it now, I say, you know what? Cool. cool, I might bench it and then do this and then say, let me do this that allows me to do that. Maybe I wasn't ready for this right now. So I don't dishearten it, I just put it on the bench like a football team and I'll bring them on later in the year or the next year. Like certain things I'm doing now, I wanted to do last year, but I couldn't do it last year. Do you get what I'm saying? For whatever reason. Do you know what I mean? And certain things I want to do now, I might do next year. That's just the way it works.
It's interesting. So as a man that's got his next 5 years all planned out, what does your life look like at 35?
At 35, retirement. That's one thing, retirement. But I feel like the main thing, I don't want to reveal it in this interview because then everyone will know what I want to do, certain things. But retiring my mum completely is one of my key goals. And having kids, do you know what I mean? Like having a family, but also just being a helper, bro. And when I say being a helper, I ain't talking about just within music, homeless. Like, I've always done things like that, like little things like that, homeless. Even when I was on the street and that, like helping people that are way less fortunate than me, I'll just do it by myself. Just go and like do a project with a school, like in Africa or whatever. I just want to help people. Do you get what I mean? Even with this music stuff is good, but I want to get to the stage where, you know, oh, you know what? I'm financially all right, where I don't have to work for the money. I don't need that much money, bro. I don't really care. Like, as long as I got my kids are nice and food, I can go on holiday down again or whatever. That's cool. But then you could call me up and say, oh, SK, oh yeah, I don't have to work for my money. Let me have a little 1 hour with you, man. See how I can help you. And that's what I want to do. That's literally what I want to do. I don't know what that role is called, whether it's Good Samaritan or whatever, but that's actually my dream. Not to do anything, be financially free to help people. That's my dream. Do you get what I'm saying? Because when I was younger, it's only when as I got older, I was like, this is what my dad was doing. This makes sense. I never really understood it when I was younger. Maybe because I was too young. Just certain bit. It was more from a church perspective. Like a lot of people will come to my dad. A lot of people come to the house, like uncles and aunties and stuff. And my dad will always be. And I never really understood. I saw you like a couple of years ago, and I was like, oh, so this is where it comes from. Like, do you get what I mean? Like my dad was always helping people, but I wasn't really noticing it. Do you get what I mean? And man, he was also training me to be like him. I wasn't really understanding. Do you know what I mean? But that's how I am now, which is mad. Do you get what I'm saying? And I don't help people. Whether you want to gift me in return or not, I don't give a damn, bro. Because I understand what it is to be at the bottom, bro. I understand what it is to be like, where you feel everyone's against you, where you feel you're going to lose everything. Like, I've felt that millions of times. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like, we're human at the end of the day, bro. It's not a crime to help. Don't cost me nothing. Just a conversation, bro. Certain conversations I've had with people have motivated me, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's what I want to do when I'm back. By the time I'm 35, might not, but I just want to be financially free, do all this business stuff just to make the money so my family is good, I'm good, and whoever around me is good. But, yeah, you ain't gonna just, oh yeah, skills that can help this, or set up proper charity organization, not this bloody charities that they're stealing the money and shit. Like actual hand-to-hand charity. Yo, bro, all right, cool. What you doing? I needed $5,000. Why? All right, you write me a business plan. You write me this. I'll give you the $5,000. I'll support you. I have the time to now because I'm not forced to work or do music stuff really. Even though I enjoy it, you get me. But I've got to prioritize that because I got to live. Do you know what I'm saying? And that comes even to now. Bare people like, do you know what I mean? Like some people like, oh yeah, I'll get back to you eventually. Because sometimes I've got to prioritize that and I'll do that. My PA gets me all the time, why do you do that? Some people like, skills, you just waste your energy like helping people. And sometimes you help someone, it goes in vain. Sometimes it doesn't, but I don't care. That's what I want to do. I will never change. I don't care. And that's one thing I ain't budging. Do you know what I mean? Like, it don't matter what woman I've gone on a date with, don't matter. Anyone tells me that's one thing man's never ever changing is helping people, bro. Ever.
So to put that in perspective then, because you said within your 5-year plan, you want to have children. To have children, you need to have a girlfriend, have a partner. So
I'm working on that. I'm working on the...
But to tap into your point, you're never changing. What if to be a part of your 5-year plan and to have children, you need to change?
Then I don't know, man. when I crossed that bridge, innit? Do you know what I mean? You're right, but the help part of me is not gonna change. I will incorporate it, man. I'm not changing that in terms of helping people. I will be selfish a little bit in terms of like my own personal family, but I'm still gonna extend my arm. Because it gives me peace, man. Do you get what I mean? Like, I'm the kind of brother that will have, I might even have no money in my account and I see somebody just begging, bro, and I'll buy them the meal, bro, with that £10, because I know I'll make the £10 back somehow. Like, do you get what I mean? And it took me a long time to realize that thing, what actually gives me peace, what makes me happy. That stuff makes me happy, bro. Whether it's in front of the camera, whether it's not in front of the camera, that stuff actually genuinely makes me happy, bro. I don't know, I can't explain it. Do you know what I mean? So even when I have kids and children, I'm gonna train my children just to have that full spirit, like, do you know what I mean? Because you can lose everything today. I can lose everything today. I can be fired by my artist and like, what would I have left? I have a lot of money, but what else? Nothing, bro. That mean nothing. God forbid if I was to die today, what would they say about me? When R.I.P. Jamal Edwards, that guy helped us as well at our early stage. Just look at the magnitude of what I didn't even realize. I knew he was great, but I didn't realize how great. People across, even till now, I'm still seeing posts and I've read so many different posts. I said, I want to be like that, bro. I want to be remembered like that. I don't want to be remembered skills from cred. I don't give a damn about cred. Well, I do care about cred, but I want to be known from cred. I want to be known for number ones. I don't want to be known for that. I want to be known for this is a good brother that helped, man, that used to help people, bro. That's what I want to be known for, bro. Literally. And I ain't going to stop till I get there. And I feel that's probably why my journey is it's just like, I never feel like I'm doing enough.
Why do you think that's so unique? Because I would say, to be honest with you, the explanation that you've just given, I guess, of your legacy that you want to leave when you pass, I would say it's not very common. Why do you think people are so self-centered and lack that empathy and help for others?
I feel like everyone goes through different things in life, bro. I feel just from my own personal experiences. I feel like if I was brought up with like a billionaire family, I would not think like this, bro. I met billionaires. They don't think like this. Their thing's different. You get what I'm saying? So I feel it's just like from personal experiences. I don't really, before I used to like demonize people a bit and be like, brother, you're not helping no one. But then I think about, why should you help? You got your own life. I'm not gonna criticize you for not helping. Do you get what I mean? I used to be like, bro, these men just like, they don't help, man. They're not putting no work for us, man, and things like that. But it don't matter, bro. If you don't want to do it, I'll do it. You can still shake hands with me. So I don't gotta look at you differently. You may just not want to do that, and that's fine. I've had to understand that. Do you get what I mean? So why people do it, I feel it's just through personal experiences. My personal experiences and the choices that I've made is very different. I never used to think like this. I think like this now. Do you get what I mean? It's just like, that's what I want to do. Literally.
It's beautiful, to be honest with you. And I think it's a perfect place to wrap things up, to be honest with you, is that end goal of helping people. And I think 100%. It's incredible. And I think that hopefully 60 years down the line, when you pass away, people can look back on this and say that he accomplished that.
100%,
so,
man.
Thank you, bro. And
thank you.
Actually, I must ask you one last thing.
Ask away, bro.
Who do you nominate to come on the platform and to sit across from me, hopefully when the lights work? And
who do I nominate, man? Who?
And just to explain, it could be anyone within the industry. It could be a manager.
Lunatic Burgess.
Okay.
Lunatic, bro. Like, Lunatic. And why I say Lunatic, because like, me and Lunatic have become close over the past couple months, especially because, like, Lunatic, I used to think that he was tapped. He would tell you, I used to think that, I said, this guy is just a music industry head that don't really pay attention or something like that. But man's got to understand him, and he's got a lot of the drive and the hunger, and his journey is completely different, and he's motivated me. Some of the things that he's gone through, you couldn't even imagine, bro. Like, do you get what I'm saying? But he's, like, behind so much in this industry, and he gets it. Like, he's somebody I would say, man, he's got his own record label at Dream Life. A lot of things, the same age as man as well. Like, a lot of things that he's doing inspires me. Do you get what I mean? So yeah, I would say Lunatic, man.
See if we can do it.
Yeah, man, 100%.
Thank you, bro.
I appreciate you, man. Thank
Honestly,
you guys, man. I appreciate
it, bro.
Thank you, man.
Nice one.
Yeah.